For the first time since 2019, it is Yale and it is Penn. Two teams that met 3 times, played 3 one-goal games in 2019, back at it for the first time in 3 years. Welcome to Reese Stadium. This is the Ivy League on ESPN. It is the best show in college lacrosse, the Ivy League. 4 top 10 teams, and we've got 2 of them today. Number 4 Penn and number 8 Yale. Along with Patrick Reed, I'm Cooper Boardman. So happy you're with us. This is the game of the week in college lacrosse. It is one of the games of the year in college lacrosse as the Bulldogs and the Quakers go at it for the first time this season. For Yale, a win over Princeton 14-12. It was their man, Matt Brandow, who led the way. The junior with 8 points. He's got 19 in his last 3 games. And on a day like today, Pat, this is the kind of guy you need to step up.
It is, but what we keep on saying about Brandow is he is the sneakiest 8-point scorer that we see. He does it in all kinds of ways. He's coming off ball, he's coming on ball, and he's stepping and finding open guys. He is bringing this team together, doing a great job in leading his offense in a way that we haven't seen in quite some time.
Brandow on one side. For Yale, this is an offense for the Bulldogs that has been wonderful over the course of this season. Penn on the opposite side, it's been a wonderful good start to this year, 4-2 overall, 1-1 in the Ivy League. And when you talk about Penn and this offense, you talk about number 26, Sam Hanley.
And distribute that ball. He's just doing such a great job.
Underway today on a Saturday afternoon between Yale and Penn. The first draw of the day won by the Bulldogs, and we are off and running. So glad you're with us. One of the best games, as we said, in college lacrosse this season. The Bulldogs off a win over Princeton on Saturday, 14-12, a game that was 11-11 with 10 minutes to go, and Yale ripped off a few finishers. First look at Yale's offense in a game that has plenty of mid-season All-Americans. Feet in front, knocked down. Patrick Birkinshaw got a stick on it. Our first big hit of the day. And Penn's got it. BJ Farrar starts the clear. Patrick, we watched both teams take the field about an hour and a half ago. They were jawing at each other then, and it's carried over to begin.
They respect each other. They don't like each other. That's something we saw the last time they played. Last 3 times they played in 2019, and when they walked out, everybody that saw it said, "Oh, this is going to be a good game."
3 meetings in 2019. Penn took the first 2, won the Ivy League championship. Here's Sam Hanley, big rip to start the day. Yale won the last of those couple. An NCAA quarterfinal, 19-18 win in overtime. They played 3 games, all by 1 goal, and 4 total overtimes in those 3 meetings. Ben Bedard, 19 in Navy. Sam Hanley out of the midfield, on the board! 2 shots, Penn's up, 1-0.
He's just going to use his size. He's being covered by Jack Stuzen, mid-season All-American, a guy who's really just come out of nowhere and been creating 5+ turnovers. But Hanley's able to step in, no slide comes, he's able to put it right over Paquette's head.
Sam Hanley, a 15-11 win over Cornell the other day for these Penn Quakers, and it was Hanley who led the way, as it usually is. 3 goals and 3 assists. 17 points in the last 2 games for Hanley, and he's got Penn on the board. So now Yale for the second time. Chris Lyons getting the start. Lyons, Tevlin, and Kaib out of that midfield for the Bulldogs, Sharp, Johnson, and Brandow. And the first save of the day, Patrick Birkinshaw down low. Senior goaltender, Virginia transfer in his second season as a starter for the Quakers. He's been one of the biggest reasons why this has been a good defensive team.
Penn's got a real great run. Preceded by Reed Junkin, another fantastic goalie. And he looked like Reed Junkin there. Reed Junkin always going down to the ground and stopping that ball. And Birkinshaw grew up right down the street in Madison, Connecticut. He's got a lot of home fans here, family and friends, and he's just ready to put on a show for them.
Huge contingency on both sides. You could see it hours earlier, the women's game. Step-in shot, little bit high from Dylan Gergar, senior attack from Maryland. One of the better distributors on this team. We saw that Saturday against Cornell. 4 assists for him in the victory over the Big Red, a game that Penn dominated. This Penn team, if you haven't followed them all season, 1-goal game kings. A lot of overtime games, and they've won more often than not. The game against Cornell, for the first time, not so tight. They were up 9-3 after one half. Yale's defense affecting everything, and that time a little late run in from Tevlin forces an errant pass. Turnover by Bedard, and Yale's got it. Yale still searching for its first goal. This is an offense for Yale led by Brandow and Leo Johnson, those two accounting for 44% of the scoring. Here's Brandow. Johnny Kaib getting his first career start the first year out of the Syracuse, New York area. He was the Central New York Player of the Year in a place full of great lacrosse players. It's a Yale offense that's going to be patient.
They are. They're going to take that time. You're going to hear the offense yell 30.
Took their time, and they got one home, right? Chris Lyons.
You hear them working through their offense, and then you hear the bench yell 30, and then they go right to the net. No need to rush. Get Chris Lyons with a nice open look. He's really been another great surprise. He didn't start the first 3-4 games, and then he's come on first 2 games in. He's put up hat tricks in the last 2 games. Good scorer. With that 44 and the ability to put it in the net.
And another draw on the ground, big ground ball battle, and it's picked up, at least for the moment, by Penn. Edward Arnold from the wing. And these are the kind of scraps we expect all day long. Penn calls timeout to freeze us at 10:24, a 1-1 game, as Mike Murphy in his 13th season decides he wants to save the possession. Just underway in New Haven, tied at 1. Been a fun one so far. 5 goals for Matt Brandow in the win over Princeton on Saturday. The Yale Bulldogs have been one of the best offensive teams in this league, in this country, all year long. Down 1-0, now 1-1 game, 5 minutes down in the opening quarter. And the first save of the day by Jared Paquette. Sophomore goaltender at 6'2" out of Long Island, coming off a career day against Princeton. You liked what you saw, 19 saves.
Everything he's done, it's been what Coach Shea has said is the reason he earned that starting job. He knocked off a incumbent who won a national championship as a freshman, and Paquette, I was like, he's going to be better, and he's been amazing. And that's not a slight against Jack Starr. Paquette has just been amazing, game in and game out, keeping the Yale defense in this.
And we have ourselves a goaltender fest early on. Patrick Birkinshaw on the other side with a couple of saves of his own. So now in the stick of Sam Hanley, comes out of the midfield. Tough to get a pull onto him. Runs through 2 shorties.
Definitely a mismatch here with the Yale defense, and they're trying to create some havoc. So they send a double quick. and Hanley didn't see it coming and causes a turnover.
Chris Fake scoops it up. Hanley, such a willing and excellent passer for this Penn team. And it's Yale defense that gets off to a good start. Yale defense allowing about 12 goals a game. No one has scored more than 14 goals in a game against them. Perhaps their best effort came a week ago against Princeton, a top 3 scoring offense in the country. And now Matt Brandow. Max Krevsky, first year on. Jack Monfort. Leo Johnson, dangerous left-hand shooter to the crease, and it's just wide from Chris Lyons. That's his operating space.
Yeah, great shot, just a little bit off, and great chase by the Penn defense to get that possession.
And now the full ride, something that Yale's patented over the course of the last few years in particular. Helped them win a national championship, helped them get to another one after knocking off this Penn team in 2019. A game-winning goal from Jack Ty. Penn's offense creaked awake this season. Caleb Fernandez gives it up. Hanley, another slot feed. Fall away just high. First shot of the day by Cam Rubin. Yale there on the backup. Rubin coming off a 9-point game against Princeton, and then followed it up with a hat trick against Cornell. In just the latest top 10 Ivy League game. What do you like about what Yale's done defensively so far?
I like that the pressure that they've put on Hanley. I like that they're doubling him to his back so that he can't distribute the ball.
Brad Sharp, laser beam. Yale's got its first lead.
Oh, Brad Sharp. That is an amazing shot. And Brad Sharp, this Penn defense needs to realize that he's a shooter. You have to step to him. You can't let him set his feet and shoot. He is just such a threat. And I'm looking at him, and I'm looking at all these freshmen or first years that are out there for Yale and thinking, wow, this is going to be a really good team for a really long time.
In the words of Brian Tevlin, captain on this team, we're reassuring them. We're reminding them they're not just average Joes. Violation against Yale. So mark that one down. First against Nicholas Ramsey in that face-off battle. Jamie Zusi on the other side for Penn.
It's going to be an interesting matchup at the X here. We see both of them are coming in with similar numbers on the season. About 53, 54%. Zusi coming off his best performance, hitting about 170% of the faceoffs last week. Ramsey coming off his worst performance.
And that one slips all the way through. Jack Schultz coming top side. Tucked that one the back left corner. We're tied.
Yeah, great ISO dodge there. No slide coming for Yale, and he's just able to pick the corner. You tell those Dodgers when they're coming around X, when they're coming around from behind the goal, that goalie's taught to hug the pipe. So you want to shoot low and away where that goalie isn't, and that's where he put the ball.
On a day where we're going to see 6 midseason All-Americans named earlier on this week, there are so many great goal scorers on both sides as Nicholas Ramsey wins another. So he started 4 out of 5.
Well, he started hot last week too, and then Sandoval just turned it on and was able to really kind of take control, give Princeton their first win in faceoffs. I think they had won in the last 20 years only once before where they finished the game with the lead in faceoffs.
Leo Johnson, he's scored in every game. Now they run Tevlin on a wing dodge. Got his hands free and bounced it wide. A dive for the sideline. Point goes Penn's way. Officials today, by the way, Mike Harold, Tim Lutzinger, Tim Cooney, and Dave Pinciaro. Pinciaro, an official in last year's national title game, so on a day where both teams hurling barbs at each other verbally and physically, as we've gotten this one going, his presence, I think, will be needed.
I think they're going to let him play. I think that's what the fans want. They want everybody to play.
Chris Fake knocks that one away, although the pass led him a little bit too far off the ground ball, and Shipley regains for Penn.
I think Chris Fake's going to go back, and he's like, I don't run up the field. I take it away. You run up the field.
It's the wrong side of the restraining line. Gabe Fury right up above, and that's a left-hand finish.
Great shot by Fury. Crossing the center of the field. Just gets his hands free, and he's able to put it away.
So Penn's got the lead back. Fury delivers his 4th goal. The junior who's got a point in every game except one. And he, along with, as you see there, Sam Hanley, have done so much for this offense. 35 goals over the last 2 games, including the 20-goal outing at Princeton. This is a top 10 shooting team in the country. And so when Zusi wins draws, and if they can complete, it's a much different team, though they turn it over once again. Zusi's pass a little high for Piper Bond. Flag down, and Yale's got a possession. Can they take advantage? And a bouncer pulled out. Jack Stuzen looking for a pole goal.
Stuzen probably didn't get as much on that shot as he would have liked to. Great hustle play behind him to keep him from getting really get his stick free. And a great save by Birkinshaw.
They got it on Piper Bond, a hold, and our first look at Yale's man-up unit. Yale's man-up offense is 4 for 15. It's been the worst mark in the Ivy League, down towards the bottom in terms of the NCAA. Penn's man-down defense has been excellent. Not that time! Pickett corners! You see it, Yale may have been struggling on the man up, that is. Not that time.
Yeah. Don't tell Coach Shea that their man up is not doing as well as he would like. Thomas Bragg just gets his arms free, a little wheel play rolling, and he's able to get his arms and just rifle it past Birkinshaw. Off stick high, just an outstanding shot. And that's really going to fire this Yale sideline up.
Ground ball battle. Penn has it for the moment. Dangerous little flick from Brandon Lavelle. And Penn to deal with Yale's ride, and they do. Ten minutes in, it's been everything that we expected it to be between two teams that played 3 one-goal games in 2019. 2 top 10 teams.
I was really curious to see if Penn was going to have that game, that 2019 quarterfinal loss on their minds, and they were going to come in with only a little bit more fire because of the revenge factor. But Yale matching them with intensity the whole way.
Hanley's pass got all the way through, picked up by Penn. Now a quick rip, saved on the stick side by Paquette. That's a reset. Dylan Gergar gave it a rip. Hanley, Gergar, and Rubin, the 3 men to watch for Penn. They account for 60% of the scoring. Hanley had that deflected. Good job there by Fake of getting over and deflecting it. So Hanley runs out of that midfield, and so he's immediately getting the short stick. Quick one again high. That time Bedard gave it a try. So how would you defend him?
Chris, how would I defend Sam Hanley? I would really, you got to send more than one, but you try to get one guy to slow him down, and then you have to send somebody from the backside where he's not going to see it. If you let him see, if he gets his vision of the field, he's going to find the open guy. So like what they were doing before, kind of just slow him down and then send somebody from the double from the backside.
Which Cornell found out the hard way a week ago. Again, Paquette knocks it down. Caleb Fernandez the try, and Paquette gets to it.
But that was just another great example of Hanley with that great vision, finding a guy low on the crease. Just such good vision. I really can't wait to see him when he gets to the PLL and what he's able to do there. He's just such a big guy. And I don't know, if I couldn't send two, I'd probably go to the football team and see if I could borrow a couple of linemen because he's just such a big body.
And you said when, not if. Brian Tevlin, here's the captain on a team full of young guns. He's the elder statesman. Johnny Kibe. A big goal late in the win over Princeton last week. In an Ivy League that has eaten itself all season long. Leo Johnson, top side, couldn't get his angle. Great defensive work by Peter Blake. Shot clock down under 30. Yale patient with it. Now it's Brandow looking for his first goal. Slide came immediately. He's got the shorty though. Slide comes early. Brandow doesn't care. Saw the shorty, looked him up and down, and then ate him up. Yale back on top.
Brandow does it in so many ways. Starts, just goes right down the alley. Nice alley dodge. 5-hole with the lefty. He is just he spent so much time honing his craft, shooting from anywhere. He can shoot from behind. He can shoot from the wings. That's what you see for guys who put in the work. They have a gift. They have a skill. But then they take it and they work and make it better.
Ramsey found it himself. So I'll ask you on the other side, talk about Hanley, how do you stop him? You kind of don't. How do you stop Brandow?
He's so versatile. You can have somebody who has a great matchup against him. Maybe you lock him off. I don't know. Because he can attack you in so many different ways. He's off ball. He's on ball. He's an enigma.
He has it here. Right now it's Brendan Lavelle's turn to defend him.
Under a minute, so about 10 seconds left difference between the clocks. So you're going to see Yale probably take as much time as they can. Really don't want to leave Penn with a chance to go down and score. This is one of those things where we talk about the shot clock kind of speeding up the game, but we still have these moments where we slow it down at the ends of the quarters, and this builds some great tension.
This is usually Brandow time, looking to feed. 10 seconds to get a shot off. Steps inside and deals it! They say he stepped in though. White cleat on yellow paint, and that takes away a goal. Now Penn in transition. Arnold, the long pole getting yanked down, pulls it wide. And then a flag comes in late. Arnold stays down. He had 2 Yale players in the area in a game that has already been this physical. Here's your look.
Yeah, I don't know. Looking back at that shot, that looks like a goal to me. I mean, maybe they're calling that he went into the goal mouth, but it didn't look like it. That's one that I see right now. Coach Shea talking to the officials. I think he's going to be questioning that. We see Arnold being helped off the field. Hopefully it's just something he's able to walk off after a little bit.
The junior from Long Island, a 2-time high school All-American, Edward Arnold. And so Penn, 4 seconds in the quarter with the man up, will hold and take possession for the second quarter. What a first quarter, 7 goals, a 1-goal game, because that is the perpetual state between these two teams. Bulldogs, Quakers, second quarter coming up. Yale 4, Penn 3, the latest chapter of what has been an amazing Ivy League season. This is it. Penn beats Cornell, Cornell beats Yale, Yale Princeton, Princeton Penn. And so maybe we'll close the loop here today, but this is just the illustration. With 4 top 10 teams, the quality of play in this league has been unparalleled by any.
I said it last week. I'm going to say it again. I think other conferences are going to take an extra year off because of COVID, because if this is what happens to your programs, that everybody, and looking at even Dartmouth, who's really been kind of a step below, and I hate to say that about Dartmouth. I'm rooting for them every year. They just lost to Cornell 8-7 today. They have taken such strides. Coach Warner there, it's just awesome what they're able to do, and just such a great conference right now.
Penn's man up for the next 10 seconds, by the way, to start this second quarter. Slot feed, slow one just out of the stick of Fernandez. Backed up, and the man down time for Yale expires now. Enough time to get another one off Fernandez, and so that's 2 looks that Penn would have wanted. Caleb Fernandez point blank, neither goes down.
Got to be a little concerning with that Yale man down defense of letting 2 looks right in the center open.
Now to even. Hanley, time to tee off from way out there. We're tied again.
And that's one that you really look at and you have to say that's a blown play there. Sam Hanley, the one guy, if you're going to say there's one guy we can't lose, you have to be firing out to him, and you can't let him get his hands free and shoot there.
When he's got 2 men near him, it can be a problem. That time, nobody. Second goal for Sam Hanley.
Was that right-handed? Because shoots faster with his offhand than most people shoot with their strong hand. And they're calling withholding there on Nicholas Ramsey, saying he held the ball under his stick too long, didn't get it out quick enough.
Face-off battle's been good. 5-4 Yale. Nick Ramsey on Saturday against Princeton, his lowest percentage of the season. So Penn's offense back to it. Caleb Fernandez, the Floridian, one of 7 players out of the state of Florida in the Ivy League this season, to Hanley, the Oregonian. Down the alley, pulled that one. Penn's offense is the best assisting offense in the Ivy League. 50 of their 75 goals by way of the helper. Defender hung up here. Back to Hanley, the initiator. Yale finally got a pull to him. DeMuth. Hanley wings it right over that orange bar.
So we've seen Yale make a little bit of adjustment. They had Stuzen on Hanley. Now Michael Garciarena covering him.
Gergar got the slide, and that was a pass that got all the way through. Paquette did a good job to see it late, pinned it against his chest, and Yale can clear. Both teams perfect on the clear so far. And Yale continues that trend. Jack Oken with his first touch of the day, and Brad Sharp's got it. Johnny Kibe, the first year, deals it back. Step down chance, and it's pulled down by Birkinshaw. That time denying Lyons, and then a flag against Yale. Penn can clear and hold.
It's going to be a push with possession against Chris Lyons. Looked like it was from the side, but he knocked him down, and so they're going to call that. Ref had great positioning on that.
So free possession for the Penn Quakers. 4-2 in the Ivy League, 1-1. 4-2 overall, that is 1-1 in the league. Picked to finish second in the conference behind the Yale Bulldogs. But all 4 teams at that top have shown they're national championship contenders. Quick shot, score! James Shipley shook free.
Yeah, Shipley making the most of a play. It looked like, was it Brad Sharp? Oh, nope. That was Hackler. Just lost his footing and went down, and that's just smart heads-up lacrosse. Your guy drops, go right to the net. If you don't get your hands free there and shoot, then someone's going to come and slide to you, and you can make that one pass. So it's just anytime that guy falls, boom, go right for the net.
First today for James Shipley, 10th of the year, the junior out of North Carolina, who beat Penn State in Charlotte, a game-winning goal earlier on this year. And a face-off take for Nick Ramsey. Stays on the attack, dealt that one a little long. Can Yale keep it in? Barely. Leo Johnson in the corner. 6 for 10 start for Ramsey at the face-off spot. And now Yale can run some of those second liners on. Jack Monfort, 18 in white. Max Krevsky, 48 in white. Brandow was parked in that crease area as Yale works it around now.
I think one of the things that Yale fans have to be most excited about are all the new faces that you see getting playing time.
Like that, Leo Johnson, a first year, and the Connecticut kids on the board.
Leo Johnson with a little shake and bake, gets a step around, fights right through the stick check. You're going to have to get physical with him, get into the body, and close that door and just force him back. And if you don't do that, he's going to step right through a stick, turn and finish.
And did that, by the way, on Brendan Lavelle, an All-American caliber defender for Penn.
Well, he was hung up, and so that was able to give Leo Johnson that time that ability to get out.
5-5 game. Ramsey again. He's won a few in a row. And this time a little bit more of a patient approach, though it was dropped and saved. Jake Cohen, the first year, had to pull that off the ground, and Yale set it up.
Cohen was looking for the shot there. He wanted a pole goal.
Brian Tevlin, the captain. Skip pass across. Here's Kibe. Scored the other day. A cincher, and Kibe's pass was intercepted. Great job there by Birkinshaw playing the area behind his goal.
Just heads up play there. And another. Jack Stuzen causes a turnover there on the ride. Birkinshaw maybe kind of rushes that pass a little bit. And Stuzen walks right out of the box and stick check, causing the turnover.
First blown clear of the day on either side. Deflected high. B.J. Farrar on the late closeout. Knocked that away from Cohen. This game has had every ounce of Yale and Penn that we hoped it would. Brandow's pass knocked down. And another big, wicked ground ball battle. So many of these in 2019, and that one popped out nicely for Yale for the moment. Not sure Monfort realized he didn't have it. And it's picked up in traffic by Ben Smith, the first year from Maryland, the former high school All-American.
And that's just a great play of Penn just not quitting. Look out.
Hanley all the way home. Save, rebound, and he fell in the crease after. Paquette had it anyway. Hard to stop Hanley once, stopped him twice.
And just a great save. Paquette just showing why he is such an amazing goalie. We talk about those All-American lists, and I'm not sure why he's not on it yet. And I think end of the year he's got to get some All-American looks.
Paquette is top 10 nationally in save percentage off a career day last week. Sharp drew the slide. He got blasted to the ground as he made that pass. Yale trying to keep it from being an over and back, and at least for the moment they do. Chris Lyons on the pickup. Great play there. Chris Fake saw it coming, and he just swept it back.
And people don't realize how hard that is. And that's, again, something you have to practice. Running up, that ball's rolling, you got a defenseman, you got an attackman coming to put pressure on you, and just knocking it back enough without going over the line.
Lions embracing contact and the feed and the finish. Max Krevsky. What a finish. Game. Yale's on top. Seesaw game so far. Both goaltenders have seen plenty of action. And there's Jared Paquette for Yale coming off a career day against Princeton. Early on, he has seen his flurry of shots. He has stopped 6 and allowed 5 goals. And on a day like today, I mean, both these teams know this, deep runs in the NCAA tournament. You need your goaltender to play the way both of these goaltenders have played so far.
Yeah, this is – you have to have that good goalie to build your team around. A guy that can, when he gets hot, can win you and keep you in games that you shouldn't win.
And the face-off spot, uber important as always, Penn. Now 5 out of 12. Jamie Zusi gets the victory there. So Yale up by 1, nearing the midway point of quarter 2. In the first meeting since 2019, the first meeting since the NCAA quarterfinal between the two teams picked to win this league. Along with Patrick Reed, Cooper Boardman, thanks for being with us today on a Saturday in New Haven. Caleb Fernandez still searching for his first goal. Rolls back, feeds in front, and that's tucked home. Dylan Gergar's got his first of the day, the senior with an easy finish.
Gergar, beautiful off-ball movement. You see the dodge, slide comes, and Gergar follows that slide. So once that slide goes, you got to move your feet and kind of follow him behind it, and he does a great job so he can get open and just go 5-hole on Paquette.
There's Gergar, the 17-goal season as a first year, came out 20, scored 19 goals in 5 games. He is a Tewaaraton conversation piece, without a doubt, and Yale has another. Nice ground ball pickup by Jack Oken. Faceoffs have been even. Goaltending battle has been even. The game has been even. 6-6 with under 7 to go in this first half.
This has been exactly what we've expected. It's exactly where these two teams left off in 2019.
Pass ended up behind its intended target. Lions trying to save the possession, and it's Andy Shea who saves the possession with a quick timeout. So success for Shea, and a timeout against Penn freezes us at 6:34 in the second quarter. 6-6 game at this stage, and you say everything that you could have asked for. I think for both these coaches, you know, you look at Andy Shea on one end in his 19th season. At this time of year last year, his family was at Disney World. This is a Yale team that believes it can win a national championship. So far has been a team that has shown it can win a national championship. Take me inside kind of the mind of Andy Shea at this juncture of the season. You're 4-2. You're off to a 1-1 start in the league. The league is competitive. Where would you say kind of your team is at?
Knowing Andy Shea, he's not satisfied. He is never satisfied. We have a similar conversation. The pattern of our conversations along the course of the season, in the preseason, he sees everything that needs to be fixed. And in the middle of the season, he sees everything that needs to be fixed, but the list is smaller. And at the end of the season, he sees everything that needs to be fixed, but the list is even smaller. And he is constantly working. He is a constant competitor. He is one of the most competitive people I have ever met, but at the same time, will bend over backwards to help you in any way that he can. Just a great guy, and he's just going to keep on working to get these guys better week in and week out.
You also saw Mike Murphy in his 13th season. He was the Ivy League Coach of the Year the last time we had a full season of Ivy League lacrosse. And his Penn team was a goal away from playing on championship weekend.
I don't think that he gets the credit that he deserves with the job he's done to build this program at Penn. With everything and how much they've progressed in the last, 7-8 years. Yale always gets the credit for being such a great program because they won the national championship. But Penn is right there with them with their skill and their strength.
That 2019 season, Penn went 2-1. Sharp got upended, put that one down low, and it got knocked down in front. I'm not sure that snuck all the way through to Birkinshaw, and Penn ends up with it. A nice little pickup in space.
I got to say, I know we're seeing these refs kind of let him play a little bit, but Sharp caught a stick up in the helmet. You see his helmet, his head get jerked back. That was I'm surprised that they didn't call something there.
He was looking around. Andy Shea, a couple steps off his sideline, was asking for something similar. And Penn has done a good job with the 10-man so far. They clear easily.
Well, Penn is doing a good job they're rushing that clear. They're getting it up quickly as opposed to just taking the time.
Shipley, that one skipped off of a stick. Great job by Hanley. Now he's got a head of steam, stays with it. Ball's on the ground, and Yale's got it. A late check, and the Bulldogs clear. Mikey Alexander unsettled. Brandow scoops it up and resets. Now Tevlin.
So that was you ask, how do you stop Hanley? You send one, then you send two, and then you send three. And he just wasn't able. You make that contact. You create friction. Don't let him get those hands free.
Another one parried away by Birkinshaw. Thomas Bragg looking for another. Hanley's got two, but it's taken him 6 shots to get there on that side. On this side, Brandow has been in the middle of it, but maybe doesn't have the numbers you might think he'd have at this point. Now hands free again, and the rip a little bit high from Carson Cool. Penn didn't love that call, but Leo Johnson was on the end line.
Yeah, that was a close one. Probably could have gone Penn's way on that one. That was really looked close.
Shot clock at 30. Bragg. Thomas Bragg, Jr. out of Casanova, New York, one of plenty of Central New Yorkers on both rosters. Held scoreless against Princeton on Saturday, just the second time all season. Brandow. Shot clock down to 16. Carson Cool, 3 goals on the season, 2 of them against Princeton. Shot clock down to 8. Cool gets rid of it late. One more feed, and that just high again from Bragg. 4 seconds. See if Yale just dumps.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to dump. They're already rotating guys in.
And Johnson does exactly that. 3.5 to go, second quarter, tie game.
And here you go. This is where Yale's going to be able to set up into their ride. But a great job by that Penn defense, really being able to lock Yale down for that 80-second plus possession. And you'll see Paquette staying close to his goal. They want to get rid of that 10-man ride. The weakness is to fire it down into the goal.
That time it was just the speed of James Shipley. Got ahead, and Penn will set it up. Jack Schultz has a goal today, senior from Charlottesville, Virginia, who became a starter for the first time in 2020. Then they canceled the season 5 games in. Hugh Mullane in his first game of the season. Matched up along with Jack Oken. Mullane goes down. Some of the second liners in here for Penn, including Luke DiGiacobe. Hanley. Hacked at hard, goes down, gets back up. Again. Just wide. Boy, he just keeps on coming.
I'll tell you, Garciarena doing a fantastic job with that one-on-one defense, really matching the physicality.
5 seconds to shoot. DiGiacobe inside, knocked down, ball's on the ground. Shot clock goes off. And it's Yale ball, so violation forced, and Yale sideline goes nuts.
Well, that's a great slide and a great hit. You love to see that.
Last two games for Yale, 13-12 defeat at number 7 Cornell. A couple of weeks ago, they trailed 12-5 entering the fourth quarter. Scored 7 of the final 8 goals, but lost. A week later, came out against Princeton, at the time top couple team in the country, beat them here on their home field.
And that Cornell game, a real turning point for this Yale team, being able to fight back in and really put themselves in a position to actually win that game that nobody thought they could.
Nice feed from Johnson. Brandow one-hander. Comes top side. Slide waiting, and Brandow went top corner. Birkinshaw there again.
Yeah, Brandow. Go stick side high on Birkinshaw. You gotta go off stick with Birkinshaw. He's way too good.
Under a minute to go. And Penn uses a timeout at 54-9 in the second. These are the moments, too. I mean, we've talked so much about how you expect these games to be one-goal games at this point. These are the moments where you've got your possession you can hold. These can be differences in a game like this.
Oh, absolutely. This is, you go in with a lead or you go in tied. It is a huge difference in these one-goal games. Every goal matters, and every goal that they can put in the net, it's so necessary in these games. And Penn is close. They're used to these one-goal games. They've played them over and over again. They've won. They're calling them the cardiac Quakers. I am impressed with Coach Murphy that he says he and the team like these kind of games. As a coach, I hate these kind of games. I like that ability. So we look, those 3 games from 2019 where it was a triple overtime game, then that Ivy title game, and Penn wins that one 12-11, and the NCAA tournament game, that game, those Penn seniors, everybody thought they were the team to beat, myself included. I was really surprised that Yale was able to pull that one out. It was including the Andy Shea calling a timeout kind of at the wrong time, and Penn scoring 2 quick goals to tie it up. And Coach Shea talked about it. He said, I really felt horrible. Like, I thought I lost the game for my team, and these guys bailed me out. When you look at the win, when you look at Jack Tye's score, you watch Andy Shea, and he's like a sense of relief.
It was a Penn timeout that gets them this possession. Under 50 seconds to go. Shot clock not a factor. Gabe Fury has a goal already today. 9 in Navy. You'd assume Quakers are going to take their time. Shipley, the former high school All-American, the game-winning goal against Penn State for the North Carolina kid. Got a shorty. Quick wing pass, and Paquette there again. That time had to stand up to the speed of Fury's shot, and here comes Yale. 8 seconds. On the run with Brandow. 5. Draws a double. Spins back. Slot feed at the buzzer. Count it! Brandow with magic to make it happen.
And that is got to be so heartbreaking for this Penn team. You get a good look. Paquette makes a great save. And then, boom, you catch Lyons right on the crease with no time. You saw the refs going and talking about, was that in? Did they make time? Wow.
And they did. Lyons makes it 7-6 to close the half. What a game. In one we expected to be a one-goal game. That's what we've got We're back with your halftime report from New Haven. One-goal game after one half of play. These two teams have played now 3.5 games in the last 4, and all of them by 1 goal so far in a day where it's been just back and forth in every sense of that phrase.
It has been everything we've wanted out of a first half. Hopefully it continues for the second half. But great shots, great hits, great individual plays, great goalie play, great face-off matchup. It has been just an all-around great game. Hopefully we get to see this continue for the second half and see more highlight reel goals, more big hits, everything that we've been getting. Let's just give me more. Keep it coming.
I have good news for you. We're about to start the second half between these two teams. Goals like this, too. I mean, just up and down. This one down low to tie it from Leo Johnson. An unbelievable move from him, one of his goals on the day. No one has necessarily put up 3-4 in the first half like a few of the previous meetings, but some big hits, some good defensive work, a relatively even goalie and face-off battle have added up to this. A 7-6 game at the break. Both teams have cleared it very well. Yale with that slight edge at that center circle has been one of the differences, one of the reasons why Yale has the lead. Nick Ramsey versus Jamie Zusi. And Ramsey 8 for 13 to begin the day. Second half underway, along with Patrick Reed. I'm Cooper Boardman. 3 1-goal games in 2019. We had to wait 2 years. First half very much did not disappoint, and we're in for it to start the third today in New Haven. Yale has the opening face-off of the quarter, in need of a clear and just in time. Clock was at 61, and it was stepped over. Now Sharp had a steam. Down low, Birkinshaw diving right. 6 first-half saves for Patrick Birkinshaw, and that's the start he was looking for to the third.
Yeah, you think that's completely in the shooter's advantage there, and Birkinshaw just comes up huge. Guesses right on that 5-hole look and stops the ball.
Any offensive adjustment for Penn in the second half?
Maybe a little bit more Sam Hanley, kind of give him a little bit more a room to dodge, to look to get him to create. But this is going to be this is a defensive battle between these two teams.
And it's been a goaltender battle so far, though. Paquette's pass out of the reach of its intended target. Another ground ball, and Penn's do it. Caleb Fernandez went all the way back into his defensive half. Finds Hanley. Oh, boy. Hanley, the freight train, deals it off, and that sneaks through. Off the deflection, Cam Rubin has his first.
I got to tell you, I thought that was a little bit early of a pass. You didn't get a slide going yet. And he was just able to see Cam Rubin down low, and just a great shot from the wing. Paquette gets a piece of it, but it still managed to get into the net.
I think when you see one of the best left-hand shooters in the league standing there, maybe, well, Cam Rubin delivers. Mike Murphy's liked what he's seen, especially from Rubin over the last few games. Sophomore in his first season, feels like he's seen the cage well. He saw it well there. So a tie game. Took us less than 2 minutes to get back to even in the second half. And another Neolithic ground ball battle. Penn's got it this time. Ground balls, by the way, Penn 16, Yale 15.
Well, I got to say, you look at the intensity coming out in this second half, and Penn certainly has the advantage. I think that we kind of thought that goal by Yale would give them a little momentum, but Penn's looking at this and saying, no. And they're taking this personally.
Gabe Fury off to Hanley, who really had no angle, forced that one in. Hanley did have 2 goals in the first half. It took him 7 shots to get there. And a turnover in the clear, step down. On the run, it was deflected. Rolling to the end line, Paquette takes a hit. And that's against Penn. Little too much there from Gergar. And Gergar and Paquette behind the plate jawing at each other. And Yale on the other end scores. That's as loud as it gets. Patrick Hackler with his third of the year.
And that's a big recovery for Hackler because he was the one that turned that ball over at the other end. Paquette saves him out, steps, saves, and no one slides to him. On a fast break, you can't just let that guy with the ball just cruise right in. If you don't slide, he's going to make you pay. Those face-off or fast break rules that Coach Shea always talks about, if you're not covered, get covered. And he's going to the goal, and no one's covering. He's going to take that shot all day.
And he's got it. The skinny Atlas Laker, former high school legend there. And Yale's got a draw. Chance to maybe get a little bit of breathing room for the first time today. Can it be? It is! Johnson got free and found a spotlight to the net.
Nick Ramsey continuing his great play. Steps down, draws his defenseman down. Draws Farrar with him. And then Leo Johnson's just able to step over and get topside. He is such a great dodger, very elusive. And if you don't get into his body and you let him, he's going to run through your stick. He keeps on running through these defensemen's sticks. You have to be able to match feet. So right now, he's looking, his speed is beating the size of these Penn defenders.
And now here, as you said, Ramsey has continued it. He's won 2 out of 3 to begin and make it 3 out of 4. Jack Stuzen out of the fray. Pole's got to get rid of it, and he does. So Yale's up 2. Can it be 3? The high bouncer just a little bit wide from Oken. Huge moment in this game. 1 goal, tie game most of the day. Yale has just a slight arm's length.
But they're continuing with getting those possessions on the faceoff. And I don't know what Andy Shea does to teach faceoffs here, but you think about how good they've been at faceoffs for the last decade. Great ball movement by Yale.
Has not stuck in anybody's stick to this point, especially in the second half. Chris Lyons, Brad Sharp takes it, makes it! He had nowhere, and then all of a sudden, Yale's got 10.
A lot of contact there. Penn defense making it very difficult. Here's the thing I'm going to say. I really am wondering if Birkinshaw is having trouble seeing it in the sun, because right now that sun seems to be coming right down, looking right into their eyes. And I'm wondering if that's something that's giving him a hard time with these shots.
Yeah, he's looking right into the Cy Lacrosse Fieldhouse on dedication day here today at Yale. Ceremony earlier on today on a beautiful day, a packed house, and a top 10 game between Yale and Penn.
I'm really hoping
lead of the day.
I'm really hoping they let me go in there one day.
You need a key card or something.
I feel like Bob Uecker in this place. I must be in the front row.
The push against Yale gives it to Penn. And now they put it in the stick of Birkinshaw. Clock down at 70, 10 seconds to clear. Handley does. That's always a good option at 6'5", 230.
Brandon made a great little run at Handley and just followed it right into the scorer's box and got himself a drink of water.
So now Penn, this offense, good in the first half. Yale's gone on a bit of a run. Where do you go if you're the Quakers?
Handley is, you always think to go to Handley, but somebody else has to step up here too. And there we see Handley going, and the double comes once he gets his back to the defense. They're sending that double.
Cam Rubin, because of that, has space and scores. Lightning bolt from Cam Rubin, his second.
And that was definitely a defensive breakdown for Yale. You see one player out covering Handley, and just once you see that slide, what you're taught is go to the crease and then recover and out and find who's open. And he was just too late getting there.
Paquette nearly plucked a miracle save there, too. But this is the spot right here along this line that has been about Yale in this second half, why Yale has gotten the margin a little bit bigger than it's been. And once again, Nick Ramsey, now he's starting to get a little fire in that right arm.
I said it. I give credit where credit is due. And Jerry Ragonese in the preseason tweeted that Nick Ramsey was going to be an All-American, and he's getting better and better every week. He's really just come on so strong.
He has put last week about 8 feet under. Carson Cool draws the slide. One more to Bragg. Brandow got his defender hung up. Such a good feeder. And a good job there by Brendan Lavelle getting over there, slowing that down. Shot clock down under 20. Tight quarters, centering feed. Score! Again, Carson Cool. His first of the day, and the first here comes up big in a big spot.
Great ball movement, inside out. Cool takes a step away from the defender inside and just creates room to get his hands free. What a great shot. But like I said, I really think that Birkinshaw's having some trouble with his son right now, the way he was making saves earlier. And so you got to wonder, coming into the fourth quarter, is Jared Paquette going to have that same problem with the son here?
Violation that time against Nick Ramsey, who did have some trouble with violations in the second half against Princeton last Saturday. Hanley, 3 men in the area, and eaten up easily by Paquette. Would you get it out of Hanley's stick?
No. No. Shoot or shoot. He's just got it. Paquette's having a great day against him. Wow, Tevlin with just such a great individual effort there. But you don't get away from what your strength. You want other guys to step up and other guys to make plays, but I'm not going to say, hey, Sam Hanley, don't take a shot, because he still is making some great shots. It's a close game, and Jared Paquette's just having a great day.
11-8, Yale with a chance to take its largest lead. 3 is the current margin. It's been the largest of the day. Lions from X matched up with the shorty. Draws the switch. Johnny Kibe, the first year, got his first career start earlier on today. Back to Johnson, just got his second. Shot clock down under 10 seconds to 7. Dangerous pass, and it's out of play. Probably would have been mattered anyway. Brandow did everything he could, and Penn's got it again.
Well, now they have to clear it. This is one of those situations, though, where Yale's able to come, really set up their ride. And you see Penn throws 2 attackmen way down in the corners to try to spread things out.
Nice play there. Shipley just took it himself. High pass, and it's over the intended target of Gergar along the sideline, and it just got swept back into play. Piper Bond tiptoeing the sideline, throws it back, and it's picked up off the short hop. Here comes Hackler.
And that one hurts. You kill off that Yale possession, and then
you beat the ride.
And you beat the ride, and then you kind of throw a pass high and out, and that's one of those little mental mistakes that it kind of sticks with you, and you just kind of, it's like, oh, are we snake bitten here?
Lyons comes up, hit the post. Oh, he rang the bell. Long carom picked up by Montfort. Great job there by the sophomore with a box background who got great wrist strength to get that in traffic, and Yale brings it back in off the reset. Carson Cool looks it back up. Brandau waits and taken out of the air by Birkinshaw. Really nice save there by Patrick Birkinshaw.
It's a good save, but I'm going to say that's just not the shot that you want to take there. Birkinshaw has shown if he has a weak spot, it's off stick. You can't go stick side high on him, and going with that lefty stick to stick, it's making the shot a little bit easier for him.
Penn again in the stick of Sam Hanley. Penn has 2 goals in this third quarter as we near 10 minutes in, but it's taken him 6 shots to get there. Caleb Fernandez, the main distributor in the first half. Couldn't get his hands free. Bedard on a shorty. It's a big man. Bedard takes a high hit, ran right through on Bragg. Those two come together, and Yale comes out of the chaos with it.
Bragg looks a little bit shaken up by that, but that was a big hit.
One of those days in the Ivy League, and that one was intercepted, taken away by Lavelle. Penn unsettled, saw too many white jerseys near the cage, and they'll set up the half court. Fernandez got his first career start against Cornell on Saturday, his first career multi-point game. Goes to work, tiptoes the crease, looks it outside. Rubin couldn't get it off, that lefty sidewinding shot. Now it's Hanley, foot on the pedal, draws a double, deals it off, they score right there. Hanley in stride, and Penn is back within 2. Dylan Gergar with the goal, and we've got a 2-goal game, 4:03 to go in the third. The Penn Quakers, this is a team that won 2 games against Yale last year. One in the regular season, one in the Ivy League championship game, and then came up 1 goal short of going to championship weekend. Trailed by as many as 3, it was nearly 4. Come back with a goal, and that's where we stand now. 4:03 to go in the third quarter. 2-goal game along with Patrick Reed. I'm Cooper Boardman. I just looked at you and said it. I'll say it again. This is everything we could have asked for from this game.
Absolutely. This is what we want to see. And we see Penn win a faceoff. And so can they now draw it again, draw it closer? This is a team that does not fear Yale. They do not fear these guys. And that's why these are able to be such slugfests between these two teams and what we love to see.
So Penn trying to make this a 1-goal game, which has been inevitable in the first 3 meetings. Gabe Fury with it. Saved by Paquette. And the pass in front was intercepted. Chris Fake, top cover man, stepped in front, takes it out of the air, and Yale begins the clear.
That was a real interesting setup there. You saw Handley at X with the ball making the pass, but it really looked like Fury went into the crease there, and I was really surprised. I thought that the official actually had signaled crease, but it looked like he was in there, and then they just kept playing.
So Yale's defense comes up with a stop. No one has scored 14 plus on Yale this season. That includes Princeton, a top 3 scoring offense in the country last week. Early shot clock ripped from Johnny Kibe, and Patrick Birkinshaw back in his rhythm. Penn's done a good job of handling Yale's vaunted ride.
Yale getting away from, though, the shots that have worked on Birkinshaw have been straight from the middle of the field, using the sun in his eyes to a slight advantage with the traffic. That wing shot kind of gives Birkinshaw a little bit better ability to see the ball and see what's coming.
Hanley runs on out of the box, runs through a shorty, and he was stood up there, not a shorty, drew the slide, and now pulls it back out. It was good defense there on Yale's side. a step over for the Bulldogs.
Garcia Arena has been doing a great job with this one-on-one.
Quick one knocked down.
One-on-one defense with Sam Handley. He's really just matched up great physically.
Shot clock down to 20. And that pass through the intended target all the way out, and a Penn turnover. 11th Quaker turnover. Yale's got 10 of them. Ten seconds to clear. Paquette patient with it. Off the stick of Krevsky, and Penn's got it. Scooped up by Gergar. Eyes for the cage. Hit hard by Fake.
What great checks. Chris Fake showing why he's a midseason All-American and why he has been so highly thought of for the last 4 years, or his last 4 years of playing at Yale. And now Yale, 55 seconds left in the period. Hold it, get that one last shot. Hopefully they can add to their lead.
Shot clock a non-factor. Lead has been as many as 3, no more for Yale. And as you said, at the end of the second quarter, they did the same. Stop, watch the sands fall down in the hourglass. Lavelle versus Brandow. Been a heck of a matchup all day long. Lavelle on the towards and watch list in his first collegiate season. Brandow gets it started with 11. Feeds it up top quick. Low worm burner down. Birkinshaw stands up Johnson. 5 seconds. Schultz chases after it. And that is how the third quarter ends. Yale does find a way to widen its margin. Outscores Penn 4-3 in the third. We got a 2-goal game as we go to the fourth in New Haven. The gauntlet continues for Yale. That BU game, by the way, up next on the road in Boston. It was a heck of a game. BU very quietly a one-loss team, a top 15 team. But the eyes today for Yale after Dartmouth and Harvard and all of that in the Ivy League. First, it is Penn, and it is a 2-goal game as we begin the fourth quarter between the Bulldogs and Quakers. Face-off win. They were even in the third quarter. Penn has this one. Farrar, though, with a pass that probably he would take back, winged it to the corner, and a huge, huge turnover to begin the fourth.
Yeah, Penn coming out, trying to bring that intensity for the fourth quarter. If I'm Coach Murphy, I'm telling these guys, hey, listen, we fought through. We had our goalie with the sun in his eyes for that third quarter, and now Yale does. So we have to come out with the intensity, and we need to blow their doors off. And they came out with that intensity. B.J. Farrar, who's a great LSM, kind of fired it down. Just a slightly off direction pass.
Both these teams played tons of 1- and 2-goal games all year long over the last few years as well. Two teams that played 3 one-goal games in 2019. Yale trying to make it 3. Sharp bounces that wide, and Penn's 2 at first. Birkinshaw on the loose ball, watches it fly by, and Penn versus the Yale 10-man ride once again. Penn's handled it well. 7 seconds to get it over. Push, tiptoe, and out of play, and Yale's 10-man ride comes up with its first stop of the day. Piper Bond stepped on the line.
And Brandow with a great hit there. Actually gets knocked. Would have been offside, but they had another player that stayed onside. Heads up play by the Yale attack.
You said it, Penn's done a good job at it, but all it takes is 1 or 2 of those to get through. It can make a huge difference, especially in a 2-goal game. Saturday afternoon, Ivy League, top 2 teams in this league preseason, and it's lived up to the billing. Long way to go. And Birkinshaw there again. Very patient, quick wrists, and he takes it out of the air on the goal attempt by Max Krevsky. So here comes Penn. Quakers had 3 goals in that third quarter. 8 shots in that third quarter as well. Quaker offense that has been just unbelievable over the last couple of games. The 20-goal outing in the overtime defeat against Princeton. Dangerous pass again, right off the bench and on the ground for Christian Johnson, who picks it up, sends 2 men in his wake. Johnson deals it low, knocked down, intended for Lions, and Penn's do it first. Peter Blake got his stick on it and takes it away.
Both these teams playing fast and loose right now.
Hanley, a long one to the corner, and that's one of the ways to beat this ride. It has been an unbelievable game. Penn trying to make it one. With Patrick Reed, I'm Cooper Boardman, our entire wonderful Yale crew. Thanks for being with us. The biggest game in college lacrosse today, one of the biggest of the season. Penn looking for revenge from last year's quarterfinal. Sam Hanley has been a big part of that. Has it here. 2 goals today. The big man looks down low, feeds it to the slot, unable to be handled, and it's in the crease anyway. Jack Schultz had that bang off of him, and maybe he was looking into the sun and couldn't grab it.
Wow, Paquette showing some moves there. Dodging
that was nifty.
Yeah. Dodging the attempt at a big hit.
Yale has 5 seconds to get it over. That was Mike Murphy right there pointing. He stepped out. They say that Brian Tevlin did not, and Yale clears with a half breath to go.
That might be one that that was close. and Coach Murphy obviously not had a great view of that. But you got the tension in this game. Both of these teams just still playing their game, going to the goal when they can. They're not really slowing things down.
And still scoreless here in this fourth quarter on both sides. Johnny Kaib. 13 seconds to shoot. Johnson has his man hung up. Cuts back up top side, turns into a couple of defenders, got pummeled. Brendan Lavelle, the sophomore, ran through him and gets Penn the ball back. How about Lavelle? Came into the day with 3 caused turnovers. He's got 2 today.
That's a great slide from Lavelle.
Hail Mary, full of grace for the moment for Penn, and it is taken down by Cam Rubin. 10 to go, fourth quarter, 2-goal game. Penn still searching for that first goal of the fourth quarter. Top line back out there. Gabe Fury out of the box. Hanley, time to step in all the way home. Sam Hanley, abominable. 1-goal game in the fourth.
When the game is on the line, you got to get that ball in his stick. And again, we talked about Leo Johnson at the other end just kind of running through sticks, and Sam Hanley does the same thing. A little bit late on the slide to him, and he's able to just run through those sticks and get the shot off.
A well-deserved drink at the Powerade station for Hanley. And now back here, Yale's advantage at the face-off spot is 2. Long clamp. And it ends up in the stick of Nicholas Ramsey. He's got a 3 face-off edge, and he still has it. High hit, no flag, ball is loose. And a hold against Penn.
He held the ball just a little bit too long. He's got to take that shot or move that ball. That really was close to being a turnover for Yale. And he had the time and room.
By the way, if you weren't with us off the top, Pat asked for the officials to let them play. I think they've obliged.
We've seen hits. This has been one of the more physical games that I think I've seen this year. I think Yale's content kind of taking this long possession.
Skip pass from Brandow. Krevsky high. Another good look, though.
Another good look, a reset on the shot clock. Gives them more time to take off. But you got to score. It's a one-goal game. You can't let Penn just keep on getting it closer.
Brandow is trying to change that. Birkinshaw lightning quick. Penn's got it. And they don't even give the 10-man a chance to set up. Theo Lenz carries over. Penn's got it, 8 to go. Slot feed. Oh, just pulled wide again. That was a golden opportunity for Jack Joyce, the Connecticut kid back at home.
Penn's feeling it. Penn they feel it. They feel like it's going their way. Birkinshaw's coming up big, making some big saves, and right now they feel like it's their time to shine.
But still down by 1, and they give it away. Gabe Fury's pass, little rush to Schultz. Penn just committed its 18th turnover. And they've given it away now 11 times to Yale 6 in this second half. Sharp looks surprised to find the ball in his stick after the hit from Farrar, and Yale brings it in. This is an offensive team. You just said it. They need more goals. This offense hasn't quite been what it was maybe in 2018 or 19, but it's been pretty darn good. Averaging 13 goals a game, 6 out of 7 in the Ivy League, and it's come up in the biggest moments like last weekend. Try to come up here. That was lost. A late plaster from Fury, and Penn's got it again. The defense from Penn has packed it in.
The Penn defense keeping them in this game right now, stepping up when at the biggest time, and just with these very physical plays.
And Penn's defense is used to it, giving up a lot of goals, but they faced the best teams in the country. Held number 3 Georgetown at 10. Now Hanley, head of steam, dang the pipe! Off the top, Karam's all the way back. Yale just looking to maybe get it an over and back. And the point goes Penn's way.
And they called Brandow saying he was offsides there. May have been pushed offsides, but was offsides.
And Penn takes back over, chance to tie. A 1-goal game again. Spin back, Shipley fakes and sails it again. Penn has had so many looks at that cage.
If they get the next goal, their team is going to erupt. The tension, it's here. They feel like they have these looks. They're shooting, they're getting the shots. And what are they going to be able to do? Hanley,
skip pass just high. Another turnover. Penn's 19th. Just a little high for 5'9" Cam Rubin. We talk so much about Penn's defense. Yale's defense has made plays when it counted, that time pressuring Hanley.
But they're giving up some of these. They're turning. Oh.
Yale's not failed to clear, and they were lucky to do so. That one ran all the way through the mouse hole to Brandow.
Nice ground ball. But Penn, you're seeing them getting some looks in this Yale defense that if those passes connect, it's a very different game. That pass was right in the middle. If it's a little bit lower, that's a goal.
Yale on its end has had plenty of opportunities to make this a 2-goal margin on its end, but we have been stuck at 11-10 for a long while. Under 5 to go. Johnny Kibe. Off to Hackler. Now Lyons playing away for the crease, a rarity for him. 10 seconds to shoot. Yale's got to get it going. Quick one. Hackler eaten up by Birkinshaw.
And I'm going to say that's another great Penn defensive stand. They're not getting any penetration. This Yale offense is really not being able to produce anything.
Gergar on the skip. Quick shot, we're tied! Cam Rubin in a big-time spot.
And as expected, the Penn sideline erupts, and they have all the momentum. We see a great cross-field pass, just not able to get there, and right past Paquette.
Rubin has his third. 4 to go. Yale 11, Penn 11. We'd say we'll be right back. We know you'll be with us. College lacrosse hasn't seen a better battle than Yale and Penn over the last few years. 3 one-goal games, and here today, tied at 11, 4 to go. Penn's got a face-off win. Yale's had it most of the day. Nick Ramsey versus Zusi, and the pass intercepted, taken down by Eschbach, and Yale's got it. Goaltending even, face-offs even, clears very similar, and an 11-11 game. And Yale clears with 5 seconds to go. Penn's asking for an offside. They got it.
Yeah, Tevlin, or that was Sharp rather, went offside when I think it was Alexander was carrying the ball over, or Bryce DeMuth was carrying the ball over.
So 3.5 to go. In those 3 meetings in 2019, we had a combined 4 overtimes. 3 of them came in the regular season before a Sam Hanley OT winner. This Penn team on offense has trailed most of the day. Have not led in the second half. James Shipley, the team's best dodger perhaps, nearly threw it away. Fury pulls it in. Shot clock down to 40. Hanley deals it in. A whirl, and Schultz didn't have it in his stick. Fury ends up with it. Save! Paquette met that one high. Jack Oken over the line. Yale ball, 2.5 to go.
And Paquette stepping up in the biggest moment. Just outstanding play there. Stuffed that shot right in front of the net.
So now it's Brad Sharp, Matt Brandow, and the Yale offense. Here's Jack Monfort.
This offense has been very quiet this whole fourth quarter.
Saw a volcano of goals early on, has not been in the second half. Brandow feeds, quick shot, save, Birkinshaw, stands up Johnson, loose ball, it's Penn's. Piper Bond tracks it down. Under 2 to go. Shipley loses it along the line. The game seemed to freeze for a moment, and Shipley does save. Shot clock at 60, game clock at $1:25. Penn ball. Oh, Hanley didn't see the man behind him. Hackler whacking at him, forces the turnover. Another Yale takeaway. Fake spin, shovels off, and Eschbach waits. Shot clock no longer a factor. Game clock at 1 minute to go. Yale lost twice in the regular season in 2019, then knocked off Penn in overtime of the championship to get to champ weekend.
And here's a real interesting coaching move. Do you see Coach Shea take a timeout? He's right there in case he's ready to call it, in case Brandow gets in trouble. But do you just wait and let your offense go for that? Because if you call a timeout, that also gives Penn a time to sub other guys in, get the guys that they want on defense. And Penn right now, they got a man playing the ball, but it looks like, and everybody else in a man-to-man defense, and Yale's going to wait for that last shot.
Brandow versus Lavelle. It's been the matchup all day. 12 seconds. Brandow starts his move. 7 seconds. Brandow, 2 men running at him, gets rid of it. Lyons looking with 2, gets it away, and out of play with 2/10. Leo Johnson wings it in, and it was destiny. On our way to overtime, 11-11. Yale and Penn on their way to their 5th overtime period in their last 4 meetings. Overtime in New Haven. You had a feeling we'd get here, and we are. Yale and Penn, 11-11 game, along with Patrick Reed. I'm Cooper Boardman. Quickly, take me inside each of those 2 huddles.
Play your game. Play your game. This is why you lift weights in the offseason, why you hit the wall when no one's there, why you do everything that you have to do. Play your game.
Zusi and Ramsey. Penn won the toss, so Yale defensively staring into the sun. Ramsey has won 13. Penn has won 11 at the face-off spot. Each of these 2 men have taken every single face-off. The all-important clamp, sudden death, next goal wins, and Ramsey spins out of it. He's had the edge all day. Now can Yale set it up? They will. Penn so good in these tight games. OT winners against Duke. Set the game in overtime against Princeton. 1-second winner against Penn State and Nova, but Yale looking for a 2nd straight overtime win over the Quakers. Knocked away, out of play, off of Lavelle. So now Matt Brandow, working from X. This has been his operating space. Looks, couldn't get his hands free on Lavelle. Flips it back down low. Brian Tevlin, senior captain. Drew 2, gets it away now. Lyons has his defender hung up. Shot clock at 25. Lyons comes topside. Draws the slide against Palazzi. Lyons spins back, rips, bounces it home! Yale wins in overtime again! What theater? Chris Lyons, the game winner in New Haven.
Great individual move and a nice bouncer. Birkinshaw guesses low, drops down, and it just bounces over him. Round 1, Yale. I cannot wait for round 2.
In 2019, it was 3 heavyweight bouts. And here today in 2022, a few years later, on a day that started with these 2 teams jawing at each other in pregame, it's Yale who wins it 12-11. Chris Lyons completes the hat trick, his 3rd hat trick of the season, and it's this right here, Patrick Reed, to win it.
Rolls down, that slide just comes a little too late, and Lyons not getting a start for the first, 4 games, and now 2 hat tricks and the overtime game winner, knocking off number 4. Yale getting stronger and stronger every week.
And now 5-2, 2-1 in the Ivy League, and everybody has continued to beat everybody in the Ivy League. What a game it was today. Yale a 12-11 winner over Penn in overtime. For Patrick Reed, Steph Doheny, our entire wonderful Yale crew, I'm Cooper Boardman saying so long from New Haven. Yale OT winners over Penn.